What's up? This is Jake with Hike 734, hiking to petrified trees on Specimen Ridge near Tower in Yellowstone National Park. And now this one is not accessed via the Specimen Ridge Trail, but in order to see the trees like the one right behind me to my right and those guys, you have to drive over to the Lamar Bridge. And just before the Lamar River Bridge, there's a sign that says Trailhead. And it doesn't say anything more than just Trailhead, and that's where you start. And you start working your way up through, it's kind of a, I guess it's an old service road. And then very quickly after you hit like the first little hump, it changes to a trail, and you just start working your way up that ridge. And it starts out just in this amazing sagebrush meadow, which I love in the Lamar Valley area. And as you start working your way through that, you'll see that the trail is very, very obvious until you get to inside of the dug firs there, into that first forest. And it looks like there's an easy trail to the left, but just take the steepest and the rightest trail you can find. And that really is the secret to finding this thing, is just anytime you come to a junction, take the main trail or take the one that goes to the right if you have a choice. And so you just start working your way up, and it is just a super steep dog of a trail, but thankfully it's not very long. And then you'll get to your first kind of rocks, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, that's kind of a stump. And then you'll see some more. And I actually kind of veered off to the right to a road a little bit less traveled, and that got me to a couple of extra of these. But anyways, you're gonna come to where you'll get to see this really nice specimen of a petrified tree here. And then, and a lot of people actually will come up to this one from the road from another parking lot, but, and then these are the only ones they see because they don't know about this. But then from there, keep working your way up the ridge, and just kind of as you browse around, you'll see a lot more trees laying down on the ground, and you'll see more stumps, and it's just really awesome. And then the next, as you work your way up the ridge there, you'll see this big hump, and on that big hump, there is a huge down tree. It is beautiful and awesome. And there's just a bunch of other littered trunks. And we're not talking like little tiny samples. We're talking like ones that are 24 inches across and that kind of stuff. So anyways, from there, don't quit. Keep working your way up the ridge. And once again, the adage, stay to the right and go steep, is definitely it. And you'll come to a spot actually where you need to go to the right, because it looks like just going steep and straight is the way to go, but don't go to the right, because now we're going to go around the ridge, and this is where we're going to get to the really big ones. This is the monster that I have seen so far. There might be another one. I heard there was an even bigger one up here, and I'm going to look around for it. But this one is a redwood, actually, randomly enough, here at however many feet I'm at, probably like 8,000 feet. There's a redwood. It is enormous. It is the biggest petrified tree I've ever seen. And then there's a couple of other smaller ones. And when I say smaller ones, I mean like 24 inch. And then there's just a bunch of different downed ones and just petrified trees everywhere. Oh, and then you're looking over this incredible valley. And I also saw a bighorn sheep looking down at me as well. So anyways, this is the one that I was looking at from Specimen Ridge yesterday actually, but you'll see the blog before. But on the Specimen Ridge Trail where I went to Agate Creek, I looked over here. But one of the things that I would highly recommend is drive down to between the Specimen Ridge trailhead and the Lamar River Bridge. Go just stop and look up on these hillsides, and on the ridge you'll get to see some of these red petrified trees, and that way you know what you're looking for. And I think that really helped me in figuring out where to go. So anyways, I'm Jake with Hike 734, looking at the petrified trees on Specimen Ridge in Yellowstone National Park. One other thing to note is that the footing up here is terrible. It's really slippery, rocky, nasty. And the other thing is, remember that taking or defacing national park property is illegal, and plus it's just not cool because it leaves it bad for everybody else. Okay, so one last thing is, on your way up, you want to stay to the right and keep going up because you want to make sure you get to the big ones. But on your way down, feel free to explore around. I went to the right going down, which would have been the left going up, and I came across this guy right over here. So anyways, feel free to move around and explore, because I think you'll probably find more petrified trees than just if you stay on one path. So anyways, that's my last little one. Petrified trees on Specimen Ridge, super great. I'm Jake with Hike 734. Get out and explore. If you like this video, subscribe on YouTube and head over to hike734.com for more goodness.